Hey everybody, what's going on? What's up? It's your boy AD and that's all day. How you doing with your wrestling news and your wrestling reviews? Finna do the review. SmackDown, this was on March 11th, 2022. I know it's a little crazy because time went ahead today, so it kind of threw my timing off a little bit. I completely forgot about that. But what's going on, Hidden? What's happening? Oh yeah, Big E, yeah, man. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna give my thoughts about that in the match. Cause I definitely had to rewatch that a couple of times to see what happened myself. What's going on, Dre? You said, hey, wrestling time, Big E looked like he really hurt his neck. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, okay. We are definitely gonna talk about that. So let me go ahead and hit the intro and we're gonna get right to it.
It's been a long time. Come on. Yeah. Hey, yo, it's my life, my time, my rights, my rhymes, my grind, my struggle, hustle, sweat in my blood too. A predator smells fear, I smell a lot. My competitors fled scared, cause they smelled I was hot. I want it all. The sex, much success, stressed up. I want it all, no less. So come on.
Most dominant Universal Champion in history.
Okay, let's get right to it. What's up, Silent? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you doing well. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Okay, so this was the headline for the day. Flair unleashes a vicious submission maneuver on Rousey amidst the parking lot brawl. Now, yeah, this was actually caught me off guard because this happened at the very, very end of the show. It was only like 5 minutes long, and it kind of was actually interesting. So I'm gonna get that to the end. Like, it actually had me entertained. So this is how it began. Brock Lesnar chased Paul Heyman down after Roman Reigns' assault at Madison Square Garden. So at MSG, Brock basically put his hands on Paul, and he was really finna get in on Paul, but then here comes Roman, being Roman, giving him hella chair shots to the back, and then the Usos, and yeah, they just beat the hell out of Brock, man. So now Brock wants revenge. He comes back in the ring. He throws the belt. He's mad. Paul comes out. He gets to saying some stuff, and then Brock just gets to chasing him, man. Like, seriously. What's up, Red? He said, I started watching pro wrestling in 2000, but I watched Clash of the Champions 1 and Starrcade 91 yesterday. It was snowing outside. Oh, those sound like some old classics right there. Silent said, I've been fine getting used to the new position at work. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. It's good to see you, man. I miss you coming through, Silent. But it's all good. So he was running, man, and Brock started chasing him. This was so hilarious because I never seen Paul Heyman run like this. And he was just trying his best to get from Brock. And then Brock was chasing him. And then Brock started doing what Brock does, which is beating up security guards. Next thing you know, he's beating the hell out of all the security guards in there. It was wild. It was a very wild beginning. Let me read the last part. It says, instead, the special counsel, Paul Heyman, emerged and informed him that Reigns was not on the blue brand. In response, the Beast took off in pursuit of his one-time advocate and nearly caught him before Heyman escaped in the car, right? And then he hopped in the car and drove off. That was wild. That was wild. Okay, now we're at the match that everybody's been talking about. Sheamus and Ridge Holland versus Big E and Kofi. So they're basically continuing their feud from the ATV thing. They busted it up. So the feud continues. Now, I'm going to read this because I want to know, do they actually, mention the injury? It says, although Sheamus and Ridge Holland destroyed the powerhouse of Positivity's ATV 1 week ago, Big E and Kofi Kingston were ultimately denied retribution in tag team action. After Holland laid out Big E outside the ring, oh Lord, the fearsome Butch, a recent tough addition to Sheamus and Holland's company, climbed up on the apron and distracted Kofi long enough for the Celtic Warrior to hit the big foot. So now they ain't gonna mention the injury because, yeah. So what? I wish I could show it to you. I could make a detailed video about it. So basically, Big E was on the outside of the ring. He was supposed to take a overhead belly-to-belly suplex from Ridge Holland. And he did it, but he landed on his neck, though. Like, he came down pretty bad. And Big E is a big guy. Ridge Holland is a big dude. And, yeah. And when it happened, the cameras, like, he went, like, he was clearly looked like he was out because he wasn't really moving. And then the cameras hurry up and shifted. But you could tell something was going on because if you look at the audience and if you look at the referee, you could tell, like, yeah, man, something wasn't right. What you say, Drea said, that's cool. Yeah, congratulations to Silent. So, like, what do I think about it? I mean, I'm not going to blame Ridge Holland. I do feel like it was a mishap. Like, when he first lifted him, it was kind of like a stall. Instead of going right over, it was like a stall. And I think that kind of messed him up a little bit and didn't cause him to go over so much. I mean, some people may say it's kind of Big E's fault by saying maybe he didn't, twist his body enough so where he didn't have to land on his head. I mean, I'm not going to put the blame on anyone. It's just bad that happened, and mistakes happen. Stuff happens in wrestling, so let's just hope that he just gets back and makes a recovery, because he did post a video and stuff talking about it and giving people updates on his injury. All right, so yeah, they did lose the match too, just to let y'all know. Now, this was wild. Happy Corbin led a 4-on-1 ambush against Drew McIntyre. Now, this was wild. Oh, what's up, XC31 Gaming and more? What's good, man? How you doing? Now, Drew was supposed to be out there, I guess, having a match. I think he was supposed to be going against one of the Viking Raiders, I think. And then they just, like, this was wild because they was just jumping the Viking Raiders, like, all four of them. Like, we already know Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss gets down. Like, they be doing havoc in the backstage. But man, oh man, yo. I mean, now you're teamed up with Jinder Mahal and his, flunky. Like, yeah, they're starting to raise hell, and that's exactly what they did. They came in the ring and they tried to beat the hell out of him, but then he ended up fighting them back, though. He ended up fighting all of them back except Corbin, who ended up escaping. Y'all, you said showing support and dropping a like. My last message disappeared. Have a good stream. Oh, thank you. For real, I couldn't see it. I hope it wasn't a mistake. I didn't see your last message. I seen the what's up, though, message. But thanks a lot, my man. And I definitely got to come through and show some support, man. And I definitely appreciate it, bro. Okay, well, let me see. So, again, this was wild. Like, some people might say, okay, this is kind of boring. This is the same old. But I like the added extraness, especially the behind stage stuff, like with them playing poker and all of that. And, yeah, this was actually pretty cool. It's still like kind of the same thing though, but we'll see. It'll probably have some antics. Then we had Charlotte Flair promise to make Ronda Rousey tap out by night's end. Okay, this was a somewhat like the end was much better, but they did have a promo. They did. This promo wasn't that great to me. Let me see. The confrontation ended with the opportunity promising to make the baddest woman on the planet tap out before the nights was over, and with Rousey saying that she was leaving WrestleMania with Flair's arm, or Flair was going to tap out. Okay, so now it's getting into this whole submission thing. You already know. Figure 4 leg lock versus the used to be arm bar. Now she has an ankle lock, which she already said who she got it from. Yeah, Ronda. All right, let's move on. What up, Hidden? What up? Oh, okay. Okay, Tom. Sasha Banks and Naomi defeat Natalya and Shayna Baszler. This was a pretty straightforward match. A lot of their matches been like this, just pretty straightforward to some quick, action. Sasha and Naomi pretty much won pretty strongly. The only thing I really noticed in this match is when Naomi and Shayna had a little mishap in the corner, and Naomi's one of her legs went down when both of her legs were supposed to be up. But they hurry up and cleaned it up pretty well. So I give them credit for that. It was a pretty decent match. Let's move on. Then we had Rick Boogs defeat Jey Uso to earn himself and Shinsuke a tag team opportunity at WrestleMania. So this is the reason why Shinsuke lost the belt, because now they're going to set them up as the newest tag team to go against the Usos. Something that the Usos really been needing and lacking. So I guess that's understandable. Now, for the match itself, it was pretty funny because Boogs came out with an injured leg. So I'm like, what is he doing? Like, why are you getting in this match? You know what I'm saying? But it turns out his leg was not injured. So it actually turned out to be a real match. And then I think in the end, when he was finna get the pin, in the end, that's when I think Jimmy came in and hit him with the guitar like you see right now. And then boom, he won by DQ. You said, Drea said, yes, he is so extra for that. Yes, that had me. I'm like, dude, what are you wrestling for? You know you can't be in this match wrestling, right? He had us all full, but be expecting that. Oh my gosh, they had a long conversation about that, I see. Yeah, because it was a lot going on. Now, this part had to be the funniest part to me in the whole entire show. Pat McAfee brawl with Austin Theory during SmackDown broadcast. So it was Ricochet and Sami Zayn. They're basically finna have their rematch for the Intercontinental title. Austin Theory comes out again, cell phone and all, sits right next to Pat like an asshole. Then he gets up out of nowhere, does the same thing he did before, slaps the microphone off of his face, which was hilarious. Because remember, last time he didn't do shit. So he slapped him. And this time Pat gets up, jumps off the damn announce table and just gets to get the throwing them balls on Theory, man. Now I was laughing so hard because that jump was so terrible. Like, his jump was so horrible. His strikes was so horrible. And Austin was just trying to sell it as best as he could. And it was just really funny, though. And he threw him over the table. got back on the table, jumped off the table again on him, got the welling on him again. I mean, remember, there was a match supposed to be going on. So the whole time, Ricochet and Sammy is standing in the ring just watching, like, what the hell is going on here? You said what? You said LOL. You said pull the Sonya. Yeah, he did pull the Sonya. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, J-Man. You said, Jerry said, laugh my ass off. That was the funniest thing of all. I had no clue Theory was fighting Pat. Yes, it was. And they really tried to make it look serious, like it was a real beef. Like they was pushing them back, and it was a lot going on. It was very funny, very interesting. I noticed Theory did have some scars on him behind the ear. I noticed that. But yeah, it was fun. Okay. And last but not least, we have Ricochet going against Sami Zayn in a rematch for the Intercontinental title. Now, you said what, Joe? You said I didn't even know. Oh, right. Yeah, that shit was, I know, right? You said you didn't notice who it was at first, right? Because he was on the show, and then, they were saying Vince McMahon was going to fight him, and then Theory stepped in. So it was pretty crazy because you're involved in an announcer, So, oh yeah, I forgot that happened too. So now the match itself was pretty good. Like Ricochet versus Sami Zayn honestly was a good match, man. It was a lot going on. What's up, Chase? How you doing, man? What's up, Chase? It was a lot going on, it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of good athleticism. And Sammy ended up losing, man. He ended up getting a loss. I say the craziest part to me about the match is when Ricochet did the big, what was that? Almost, I mean, it seemed like more than a 450 splash to me, right? Because he landed on his back. So I'm wondering, was that the way? Was it really supposed to finish? Because he landed on, now I seen Sammy raise his arms. I did. But the way Ricochet landed, though, it just was it's like he went a little bit too far, I don't know. Give me y'all opinion if y'all thought that was how it was supposed to go. But anyways, he picked up the win. And last but not least, we had Charlotte Flair locked in a painful submission on Ronda Rousey. Well, locking a painful submission on Ronda Rousey in the parking lot brawl. So this was like the last 5 minutes, man. And it was crazy. It was crazy. Like, they throwing each other against the cars, right? Bouncing them off the table. They were getting loose in this backstage, man. I love these backstage fights and these backstage brawls. They're so great. And then they end up right there. Then Ronda end up getting slammed on the car, man. Right then, this was actually pretty good. For it to only be 5 minutes long, Chase said, all I seen so far from that show was Lesnar chasing Heyman. Brock literally threw his title out the ring. Like, dang, man. Yes, I was saying the same thing. He was like, fuck that title. And yes, him chasing Paul Heyman was hilarious. Hilarious. And then he gets in the car and drives off. That shit was so funny. Oh, man. And then, but yeah, man, so Charlotte is trying to get in on Ronda. Charlotte is like, look, I'll put this lock in on you. You ain't the only one who has a submission. Yeah, it was wild. It was wild, man. It really makes me wonder who they're going to have win. Like, it really makes me wonder this. Like, honestly, I'm really kind of leaning on Ronda. I am. Because I'm like, how long Ronda is going to stick around? But they're trying to do a good job with Charlotte and make it seem like, yo, Charlotte don't want to lose a damn thing. She doesn't want to lose nothing at all. But the show was all right. I mean, if I had to rate it, I'd say 3.5, maybe a 4, maybe even a 4 out of 5, 3.5 maybe. It was a good show overall. I had fun. I was entertained watching it. And thank y'all for coming through and, showing up and let me know how y'all feel and what y'all think. Because, we're going to be having Raw soon. Let's not forget, we still have the 2 episodes of WrestleMania. And I'm going to definitely try my best to be here for both of those days. I know other people may be doing it too. And I'll try my best to come through and show some love and support. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. This has been pretty fun. He said, especially the way Heyman was running. Yes. You say he was running like a walrus. That man was running like a penguin. I swear he was. Oh man, that was too funny. You said Paul Rist Heyman. Paul Rist Heyman. And it's so funny how he actually got away. He hopped in that car so fast, man. Good show though. Good show. Good show. I'll be looking forward to Raw. Thanks, Dre. You said great review. Y'all have a good one, and we're good, J-Man. Yeah, and I will see you guys later. I hope y'all have a good one tonight. Enjoy your Sunday, and peace.